Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at how Erik Ten Hag will set up Manchester United next season, looking at likely transfers, tactics, formations and the starting 11. If you are new around here, smash that subscribe button, like the video, let's get this party started. In the 23-24 season, expect Erik Ten Hag to continue with the 4-2-3-1 he used in his first season at Manchester United. In goal, David De Gea won his second Golden Gloves under the Dutchman, but I don't think he'll continue as the undisputed number one. De Gea's inability to play out from the back in a calm and composed manner saw Ten Hag go against his Ajax philosophy, encouraging De Gea to go long and play safe. Meanwhile, his reluctance to leave his box and sweep up in behind his defence saw Ten Hag deploy one of the deepest defensive lines in the Premier League last season. A lower defensive line gives the opposition more space to play in, making an intense, high-pressing system like Ten Hag wants to deploy much less effective. Combining these forced changes to Ten Hag's style of play with De Gea's decreasing ability in goal in terms of stopping crosses and overall shot stopping, not to mention his increase in errors that have led to goals, it's easy to see why a new goalkeeper is a priority. Diego Costa has been heavily linked to the club and would be an excellent addition to the side. Still just 23 years old, Costa is still extremely young for a goalkeeper, but he's already made over 100 professional appearances for Porto, spending the last 2 seasons as the first choice keeper. Extremely comfortable on the ball and capable of playing well struck and accurate passes off both feet, Costa will be well suited to building out from the back. He's also a terrific long passer, and his ability to hit the wingers directly or go over the opposition's defence could be a serious weapon, much how Guardiola uses Ederson's passing at Manchester City. What's more is that Costa is fairly quick and confident when sweeping up outside the box, and he doesn't shy away from stopping crosses. Costa's 7.5 cross prevention rate is nearly triple De Gea's and performs more defensive actions outside the box per 90 with a greater distance than the Spaniard. Costa is also a good shot stopper and saves on average 77% of the shots on target he faces, preventing more than 6 expected goals this season. Again, these figures are an improvement over De Gea. With a capable ball-playing goalkeeper in goal, Erik Ten Hag's build-up play and overall possession game will massively improve, as United will be genuinely able to outnumber their opposition's press with an extra outfielder. In defence, expect Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw to continue as first-choice fullbacks. Under Ten Hag, Shaw has consistently put in top-tier performances, both as a natural left-back as well as being deployed as a backup centre-back. His composure on the ball and excellent technical skills make him an ideal ball progressor for Ten Hag. In fact, per 90, Shaw ranks 3rd in United's squad under Ten Hag for passes in the final third and 1st amongst defenders for progressive passes. Whilst Malacia will continue to develop and challenge Shaw as much more of an aggressive option, I fully expect Shaw to remain as the first choice left-back. Meanwhile, Diogo Dalot faced stiff competition from Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the latter half of the season. Despite Wan-Bissaka's improvements and unbelievable ability in 1v1 duels, where he's won a whopping 92% of his challenges he's made against dribblers this season, which is the most across Europe's top 5 leagues, he's simply not a good enough passer to be first choice in a possession-based side. Wan-Bissaka offers a great alternative, and given his massive improvements, especially in his positional game, in just 1 season under Ten Hag, there's no reason why he can't get even better. But for now, I still expect Dalot to be first choice given his suitability to Ten Hag's style of play. He ranks in the top 10% of fullbacks across Europe's top 5 leagues for switches of play, dribble success rate, aerial duels won, and more impressively, Dalot ranks in the top 1% of fullbacks for success rate when tackling dribblers. He also ranks in the top 22% for passes into the final third, the top 16% for tackles plus interceptions, and the top 13% for shot creating actions from open play. These statistics represent his fairly rounded game, but shows he still has room for improvement. At centre-back, Lisandro Martinez was a beast last season, adding much needed aggression and leadership to the backline whilst providing genuine world-class ability on the ball. The volume of his ball progression wasn't at his insane Ajax levels, but with Manchester United seeing a lot less of the ball than Ten Hag's Dutch champions, this is to be expected. As Ten Hag continues to build the squad and implement his ideas, Martinez will just get better and better. At right centre-back, I think we should see an upgrade. Rafael Varane has been very good this season, but injuries have really held him back, the Frenchman has actually missed 15 matches under Ten Hag. To really improve, United need to have a reliable centre-back pairing, and Varane isn't that. Links to Kim Min-jae haven't gone away, and for good reason. Very strong, athletic and intelligent defender, aggressive in the challenge, and Kim was nicknamed the Monster early on in his career. However, Kim is also very good in possession, which is highlighted by his composure, passing accuracy and ball carrying skills. Available for £40 million, Kim would create a fantastic modern day partnership with Lisandro Martinez. Both are very aggressive in the challenge, but are also composed and intelligent. They're also great on the ball, and Kim's more attentive passing style would allow him to set the tempo off, building up the play, whilst Lisandro Martinez can play more expansive, shape-breaking passes. That being said, the beauty of two fantastic ball players means that both could recycle and both could progress the play. In fact, Kim Min-jae's 5.93 passes into the final third and 4.99 progressive passes per 90 in Serie A last season would rank him on par with Luke Shaw in the United squad, who mainly operated as a more expansive fullback. Meanwhile, Kim's 91% pass completion rate is only better by Victor Lindelof, although the Swedish international was far safer and less expansive than Kim, as highlighted by his passes into the final third and progressive passes per 90. Combining Kim Min-jae and Lisandro Martinez with a modern sweeper keeper like Diogo Costa would allow Ten Hag to deploy an aggressive man-to-man press, pushing his backline higher up to restrict the amount of space the opposition have to play in. Meanwhile, the space left in behind the defence could be covered by either Costa sweeping out of his goal or by the centre-backs using their mobility to cover this space. What's more is that Martinez and Kim's aggression would allow them to track their markers into midfield if they tried to overload the area. All in all, the new defensive unit would provide a big step up to the direction that Ten Hag wants to go in. In midfield, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes were two of United's standout players. And when they don't play, United go from a Champions League team to a team that would struggle to finish in the top half of the league. So these two are untouchable. That being said, a backup to the Brazilian should be on the shopping list. And Fluminense's Andre would be an incredible signing. 21 years old, already a very complete midfielder, Andre operates as the possession hub for Fluminense, controlling the tempo with accurate short passes but still breaking lines and carrying out pressure. He's also very strong in challenges, winning 66.4% of his challenges per game in the Brazilian top flight this season. Whilst he might take a little bit of time to adapt to European football and the Premier League, Andre would be signed as a backup and wouldn't be expected to play week in, week out. But if United act now, they could sign a 21-year-old for the fraction of a price it'll cost once he leaves Brazil. But expect the player to complete the midfield alongside Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro to be Mason Mount. Reportedly set to leave Chelsea in the summer and leaning towards a move to Manchester United, Mount would be a shrewd acquisition. At Ajax, Ten Hag's most recent midfield was constructed of an anchorman style number 6 in Ederson Alvarez, a complete attacking midfielder in Steven Berghuis, and an attack-minded number 8 in Ryan Gravenberch. The 8 and the 10 would join the attacking unit in possession, whilst control was retained by the back 4 and Alvarez. The signing of Mount would suggest Ten Hag will continue along this train of thought at Manchester United. Mount is a very well-rounded player with a strong technical skill set, a great first touch, close control, vision and passing range, as well as high energy and mobility, which makes him a good presser. In the 21-22 season, his last under Tuchel, Mount ranked first for final third touches, shots taken, chances created, passes into the penalty area, shot creating action, and total goal involvements for Chelsea. Aside from the quality he would bring, Mount's arrival would add genuine balance to United's attacking structure. For years, United have been extremely left-sided, with many players, including Bruno Fernandes, naturally drifting to the left-hand side of the pitch. Under Ten Hag, that's continued, with Fred or Eriksen playing as the left of Casemiro, further compounding the problem. And with Antony usually holding the extreme width on the right, he's often isolated and only ever is supported by the fullback. But Mason Mount's best season for Chelsea, when he scored 11 goals and registered 10 assists in 32 Premier League appearances, came with Mount often drifting to the right half space, the exact area of the pitch that is often underloaded for Manchester United. Getting more bodies around Antony Antony will allow for more combination play with the Brazilian. Exactly the same environment that he thrived in for Ajax. This is very similar for Jadon Sancho, who also operates at his best when surrounded with players that he can link with. Which brings us on to the forward positions. Expect Antony to be the first choice right winger, but the centre forward influences the left winger. Without a new striker, Marcus Rashford would adopt that position. The first Manchester United player since Robin van Persie to score 30 goals for the club in all competitions, Rashford hit new levels of quality in Erik Ten Hag's first season. The threat he poises in the transition means he generally takes up higher and aggressive positions to maximise his counter-attacking threat. However, when playing from the left, Rashford can leave his fullback isolated by maintaining his threat. Playing through the middle, this is less of a problem, which would make United more defensively solid. Rashford has also shown an improvement in this season in dropping off the line and receiving passes before linking with teammates, either with first-time passes or by turning and carrying towards the goal. With more game time in this role and direct coaching from Ten Hag, Marcus Rashford could lead the line as a lone forward. This would leave the left flank free for either Jadon Sancho or Alejandro Garnacho, offering different types of threats. Garnacho and Sancho could be rotated depending on the needs of Ten Hag and the strength of the opposition. Next season will be a big one for Jadon Sancho. The former Dortmund man has had a tough time on his return to Manchester, but thanks to Ten Hag's guidance, we're starting to see his confidence return. In fact, he started the last 4 Premier League matches of the season, and in that time, he attempted 4.6 dribbles per 90, an improvement on his seasonal average. He created more than 3 chances per game and created 4 big chances in total. In fact, his expected assist total in that period was 2.09, which was actually the best in the Premier League. If Erik Ten Hag can truly get Sancho back on track, United will have one of the best creative forwards in the world and one of the best left wingers, number 10s and defensive midfielders, the spine of a really top quality side. Realistically, Manchester United will sign at least one centre forward, allowing Rashford to play on the left. This would allow Garnacho to rotate, with Rashford and Sancho to compete with Antony. Of all the premium forwards linked to Manchester United, they need a back-to-goal striker that suits Ten Hag's possession game. I honestly don't think Victor Osimhen is the answer. Despite being a bagsman in front of the goal, Osimhen has really struggled with injuries this season, and with a reported €116 million release clause, I think you'd be better off playing Rashford through the middle and strengthening the squad. A back-to-goal striker like Dusan Vlahovic would make a lot of sense, but it's pretty obvious that there is one standout candidate for the position, Harry Kane. England's all-time top scorer, Kane would revolutionise Ten Hag's United. The best striker in the world at dropping off the line and receiving passes before linking with his teammates. Kane would only improve the attacking output of United's forwards with through balls into space for runners. But arguably the biggest improvement that Kane would bring is his goal scoring. Manchester United took the 4th most shots in the Premier League last season, but 6 teams scored more goals than them, and only 12th placed Chelsea and 17th placed Everton underperformed their expected goals by more. Even worse players starting as Manchester United striker scored just 10 goals in the Premier League, with 70% of those scored by Marcus Rashford. Conversely, only Erling Haaland scored more goals across Europe's top 5 leagues this season than Harry Kane, and his goals accounted for a whopping 43% of Spurs' total in the Premier League. The one guarantee is that Harry Kane would score goals for Manchester United, which would immediately take them up a level. That's before you even consider the ability to link the play and operate in one of the central attacking positions in Ten Hag's structure. This first 11 is the one that could actually compete for the Premier League title. It then becomes a question of squad depth. Ten Hag would like the likes of Varane, Eriksen, Garnacho and Sancho to be called on. Arguably not enough to stop Pep Guardiola, but definitely a great starting point. But anyway guys, what do you think? How close do you think United will get to this starting 11 by the start of the new season? Let me know in the comments below. Who do you want to sign? I've been Statman Dave. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out some more content on the Statman Dave YouTube channel?